All right, you said, did he not tell his disciples to not go into the way of the Gentiles in Matthew 10:15? Yeah, he did. He actually said it right here in verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent out with the following instructions: do not go among the Gentiles or enter any town of the Samaritans. Go rather to the lost sheep of Israel. Let's get an understanding of this verse, sir. This is in the beginning of Jesus' ministry. This is verse 10. But as we can see, though, in Matthew 15 of the Canaanite woman, that is basically a foreshadowing, a glimpse of the expansion of the church to non-Jews, non-Israelites. We see the same thing happen with the Roman centurion, where his paralyzed servant was healed and he believed. And Jesus said out of his own lips, he didn't see that much of a great faith in Israel. In Israel, where the Jews resided. And that was a Roman who was Caucasian. Like I said, that was in the beginning of his ministry. But as we can see in Matthew 28:16-20, he sends his apostles to the whole world, which is the Great Commission, is a Christian concept that refers to Christ's instructions to his disciples. Well, let me read that again. These are Jesus Christ's instructions to his disciples to spread the gospel throughout the world, not just to the Jews, but to the world. Now, I know Hebrew Israelites to take that word world and apply it to just, Israelites, but you cannot do that. The definition terminology of the word world does not apply at any point in any book just to one specific person. Now, if I tell somebody, you are my world, that is a whole different subject, but that does not mean literally. We all know that to mean metaphorically and not literally. But the point I'm getting at is the word world applies to everybody, the ends of the earth. And it says it is outlined in Matthew 28:16-20. I just want to show you this real quick, brother. No, theologians generally do not agree with Black Hebrew Israelite teachings. I'm telling you, whether it's a theologian, scholars, I don't care if it's a pastor, whatever the situation may be, it could be your average Joe or your brethren. People who are true Christians or who are true scholars and true teachers don't agree with this teaching. It is false. It is a heresy. It also talks about here how basically they rewrite history and theology. It also talks about racial superiority. Ku Klux Klan. The Black Hebrew Israelites are the Ku Klux Klan. They promote racial superiority. HBI teachings can be hateful when combined with racial superiority and accusations against white people. Biblical genealogy. According to the Bible, Biblical genealogy. According to the Bible, Africans and African Americans are not Israelites because Ham, Noah's son, is the father of the African race. We need to understand something, people. All right, so this is a chart of Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And also it talks about where they went. Now let's go with Japheth first. And this is where he went. The reason why I want to start out with Japheth first is because Black Hebrew Israelites like to say that Esau is the progenitor of the white race. They're trying to say that Esau is the one who created the white race. Now look here, let's understand something. Japheth, where did his descendants go? They went to Europe and Asia. Gomer, his people went to France, Spain, Germany, and Wales. Magog, his people went to Romania and Ukraine. Madiah, if I'm saying that correctly, went to Medes, if I'm saying that correctly, and Iran. Javan went to Greek. Tubal went to Georgia, not Georgia and Atlanta. And then also we went to Meshech, if I'm saying that correctly. He went to Moscow. And Taras went to Macedonia and Yugoslavia. Now let's go to Shem. Actually, excuse me. Let's start off with Ham. And it says he went to Southwest Asia, Canaan and Africa, Cush, Ethiopia, Mizraim, Egypt, Put, Libya, Canaan. Went to Palestine. And then also it talks about the Hittites, the Jebusites, and the Aramites, if I'm saying that correctly. Now, by the way, Shem, his lineage is the one that was going to produce Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which will produce David, which will produce Jesus and their descendants. That's where Shem comes from. Now, Shem, he went to the Middle East, the Shemites. So guess what? Jesus, his lineage, is people from the Middle East. Now, don't get me wrong. People in the Middle East who are poor and in poverty, they are black. They have, a darker skin tone. But that doesn't mean that they're African. That doesn't mean that they come from the line of Ham. Elam went to Iran. Ashur went to Syria. Arapakshad, if I'm saying that correctly, went to Chaldea. Then we have two names down there. and I can't really see it. One says Hebrew and Arabia. Lud, he went to Lydia, and then we have Aram, he went to Syria. But as we can see, this is the historical biblical teaching of where everybody went. And as we can see, Japheth, his people, is the progenitor of the European and Asian race. It's not this nonsense about Esau or whoever they want to say. Ham, he is the progenitor of the Southwest Asians, Canaanites, and then also Africans, but then also Negroes as well. And Shem is the progenitor of the lineage of David, of Jesus Christ. So as we can see, these Black Hebrew Israelites don't know what they're talking about as far as when it comes to salvation. And then we could talk about genealogy. They're wrong.